We are Giants fans. If you're in New Jersey, if you live in New Jersey, what we consider
Giants
to be the greatest state in the fucking union, you're Giants or Jets. Like, that's it, you know? Like, you're not Eagles. If you're Eagles, you're probably down, south.
No, it's true.
But, of course, there's that argument. And then you got Taylor ham or pork roll?
Taylor ham.
Woo! Come on now, dude. Pork roll, egg and cheese on an everything bagel, salt, pepper, ketchup. The greatest sandwich there.
That just you guys say pork roll and just make it sound bad. Taylor ham sounds more appetizing.
My dad says Taylor ham as well.
It's Taylor ham.
It sounds more appetizing.
Nothing like stars from a paradise. Don't care, cause there's magic in the air tonight. Pretty girl in my ear, she the rarest type. Heaven on earth is right here tonight. I'm in the dream state. I'm in the dream state.
In all-time history, there is no other way. Let me tell you something. These guys, no introduction is needed. If you haven't been living under a rock for the last couple years, you have probably experienced some of the greatest nights of your life listening to their music. Probably been part of some of the greatest sends you have ever been a part of while they have been playing. They are amazing. They are legends. We have none other than Kevin Merkel, Ryan Fisher, Olive Oil. How are we doing, boys?
Was that off the dome?
That's off the top right there.
That was good.
That was electric.
All day, baby.
Doing great.
That
Pure
just
lightning.
me up
Pure lightning, baby. Let's go. How are we doing, boys? All right?
Good.
We're doing
Doing
good.
great on a lovely
Dude,
Tuesday.
Nice Tuesday out here in
beautiful
Hoboken.
Tuesday afternoon here in Hoboken. Thank you guys for setting this up. We're at Green Rock. Yeah, shout out to Green Rock for hooking us up and letting us do this. Now, we've been talking about doing this for how long now? Since the end of the summer?
Yeah, since the summer. I saw you at DJ's and we chopped it up a little bit. It's funny because from my perspective, like I've seen the whole Reds, I've seen some videos with you and Cisnero and stuff, and like I felt like I knew you, but I didn't know you. We talked on social media, but like we didn't meet in person until that one time at DJ's and kind of talked about like setting this up. So I'm glad finally to be able to do it,
Yeah. This is exactly what you said. I've known you guys, but never really got the chance to meet you and talk. And then that day, DJ's, legendary West Bar, and of course talking to Anthony. And you came up and say, hey, what's up, Red? How you doing? And then I was, oh, what's up, Merc? How are you? And we just kind of caught up for a minute and got to know that we knew each other, whatever. I mean, again, Jersey nightlife, you kind of understand what everybody's doing. And then there was another time later in the summer where you had kind of filled me in on part of the story. And I was like, man, we got to get you guys on to tell this and talk about what has been going on. So I guess where I want to start is you guys individually as DJs, before it was, I mean, now you're running the show. I think everybody knows this. I mean, they're going anywhere. You guys are there. You guys have been doing it. But before it was what it is right now, where did you guys both start in music?
Yeah, Fish, you want to start with
in music, I guess I was always like a punk rock guy. Like I grew up going to Elton John concerts and like Bruce Springsteen. My mom's a huge Blondie fan, and my mom would always put me on to like the Ramones and Sex Pistols and all that kind of stuff. And from there, I started getting myself into shit, watching like the VH1 like top 100 classic rock songs of all time. And then I found Motley Crue. And I read their autobiography, The Dirt, when I was like 14, and I was like, I gotta do that shit. That's what I want to do. And like I figured it out through the DJing stuff. Like my dad's a magician by trade, so he knows all the people who do the weddings and all that kind of crap. Started working for a wedding company at college, brought him along, and yeah, weddings, bar mitzvahs, all that kind of shit.
Okay.
That's where we started.
And kind of even circle before that. So Fisher and I grew up together. We weren't really necessarily friends. I tell us all the time as the intro because it's the best. He was my first ever bully. Fun fact. Oh. They always say keep your friends close, but you keep your enemies closer. In second grade, playing like t-ball baseball, so like right before like Farm League, or actually it was Farm League, I think, right before Little League and stuff. There was one day it was raining on the baseball field, and obviously when the mud gets all like, gross and stuff through the rain and stuff, it was raining that day, and my hat fell off, and he decided instead of picking it up and giving it to me like a good person, to step through it and keep it in the mud there. And I always remember that day, like iconically, being like, "Wow, this kid's such a fucking dick."
I have zero recollection of it.
We weren't friends. We knew each other.
But you know what? I'm the same person. I haven't changed. I'm still a piece of shit.
To this day.
I'm still a piece of shit.
Day.
Literally, so my hat dropped. He stepped on it, laughed, and I was so fucking pissed. And then we became friends in high school. And that's kind of like how we started somewhat hanging out. We played sports together. And from like a music standpoint, like you said, I always kind of liked music, but I was like never super into it. I actually used to sing. I used to sing in like choir and stuff, and like that's kind of how I got into music. My mom always pushed me to kind of sing, and I played a little bit of guitar, learned a little bit of like piano, and I played even ukulele in college. We used to fuck around with, but we became like good friends in I would say junior and senior year of high school.
More so like senior year.
Yeah, senior year of high school became like a lot closer.
We were cool, but like we weren't friends.
Yeah, and it was actually this kid Andrew Flynn. Shout out to Flynn. He was the one that actually kind of like I feel like bonded us together. But senior year we played basketball together, and my buddy Flynn and Fish used to come over, and I played football and basketball in high school, and they used to come over and work out at my house. So literally, instead of going to a gym, I would like make them buy a case of water for the gym. So I had a full gym in my house. I was fortunate enough. My dad and my brother were big lifters and stuff. So we had a full gym in my house. Instead of like going somewhere else or working out at the high school, they would come to my house to lift. And every month they'd bring a case of water and we lift and just fuck around and do dumb shit in high school. And I used to like essentially train them. And that's really kind of like how our bond kind of started. And even before DJing, we actually had a clothing company with a couple kids in high school.
Yeah.
What was the name of it?
Perfect.
No E's.
PRFCT.
No E's, yeah.
Take out
FCT,
the
no
vowels.
E's. So that kind of like, jump-started us in that sense. But I never really had like a big music background. I kind of just listened to like whatever's on the radio. In terms of EDM, I found out who like Skrillex was and like got into dubstep, and like that's what got me in.
Dude. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. I despised EDM until I was probably like 19.
Really?
Because it was always we grew up in Essex County, Nutley, like Guido Central, and like listen, I'm Italian, but like the guineas, I can't handle them sometimes. So like the association was always like every time we touch unsa, the kids going to teen nights at surf club. I'm like, no, like what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
Like come on.
Like Jersey Shore is pretty much just a regular
exactly.
life.
Yeah,
Like I didn't watch that show until college.
I mean,
That's
most
the
of
thing.
Jersey can
Yes,
say
and,
that too.
and you relate, and then like people from the outside, again, they see all that and they're like, dude, why would you ever want to be part of it? But let me tell you something. Once you get into it, once you're part of it, then you're like, all right, this is pretty damn fun.
Oh, it's the best.
But it is interesting, especially with the style of music you guys do, you know, and a lot of artists I've talked to say the same thing, though, like various types of music, various genres and things like that. It wasn't always just solidified what they actually do. There's a good hip-hop artist out in L.A. His name is Ill Nicky, and he does like a lot of melodic things and stuff like that, but very big artist. And he said he gets inspiration from everywhere. Old school Frank Sinatra, he does. He said house music, everything, you know, and it is interesting to see where it all starts. So then, in terms of getting into DJing individually, when does that start for you guys?
For me, it was junior year of college, and it was just honestly just a way to make money. I just needed to make money, and I wasn't doing much on the weekends really. I commuted to Ramapo, so like I wasn't like out that much and stuff like that. Occasionally, like go and like hit DJs or whatever, come to Hoboken, but just needed money, and I wasn't doing anything on the weekends, so make $200, $250, literally to do nothing.
Yeah, kind of the origin story. So, like I said, we had a little bit of a clothing company. There was like 5 of us. It was this kid Andrew, Fish, this kid Steven, and this kid Joey, but they didn't live in our towns. They were Andrew's friends through like other spots. We had a little bit of a clothing company, so like we were friends. We were trying to make like streetwear stuff. Through college, he goes to Ramapo. My buddy Flynn, Andrew goes to William Patterson. I go to Union College to play football there, like a little D3 school. And then Joey stays local, and Steven, who's actually also super into music, now lives in Nashville and like is a producer, songwriter, indie country artist, goes to Juilliard, right? Juilliard? No, Berkeley.
Berkeley, yeah.
Goes to Berkeley College,
the one in
like,
Boston.
for music. We stopped kind of doing the Pole Perfect streetwear clothing thing just because everyone's away, like doing their thing. Our buddy Flynn like wants to move down to Florida State, and it's just like been really hectic to like, you know, collab and come up with different shirt designs and stuff. And like my freshman year at Union, I started like really getting into music, and it was like, you know, seeing this frat scene and seeing like DJs and different songs played out, and like I always just remember just like digging through like SoundCloud, and like my, I guess, first love of like EDM is really through like Melbourne Bounce and like seeing what these guys in like Australia were doing. Like I just love that like bouncy, high energy scene and like music they were making. So like I would always like just be showing, you know, music to people and like trying to essentially kind of get like to DJ like these frat parties at Union. I transfer home my sophomore year back to Montclair State, so I'm actually like back home. It's like 10 minutes from our house. And at that time, our buddy Flynn is working for a wedding company in our hometown and gets him to work there first. And then he tells me, oh, since you moved back and stuff, and like, you know, you're playing football, you're trying to work too, like hop on, like let's all work together and stuff. And, you know, you can learn DJing and like kind of learn the scene. So we started at like a wedding company. And that's kind of how we got our jump. I remember like buying a little controller, and my first ever party I did like myself was actually a summer party at Rutgers, which like I thought I was like the shit.
About that. Oh my god,
we weren't even like Olive or anything.
I literally forgot about that.
Yeah, I bought a DJ controller. Like I said, I transferred home. It was like the summer of that year transferring, and I bought a DJ controller. And my buddy Nick Shear, shout out to Shear. I think he lived on Senior Street. I think it was in Rutgers. And he was like, come play, like Rutgers is still popping. Like, you know, we have a lot of people in the summer that still hang out there and take classes.
There was like 6 people that showed up to this party.
Yeah.
It was completely, it was so dead.
Yeah.
New Brunswick is dead.
Yeah.
Summer, dude.
I was legit DJing for like 2 weeks. And I mean, 2 weeks is like, bought the controller literally a week ago, claimed to be DJing 2 weeks. I'm like, all right, I'm down to play. And like, hopped on.
There's a clip of this. Merkel's sitting down DJing. He's not even standing up because the table was so low to the ground.
It was so low, exactly. I actually sat down and DJed like my whole half-hour set. I thought I was so cool. And like I played with like 4 other people. There was like other DJs and stuff. And like, mind you, like I had such a like limited range of music. You know, like probably only had like 200 songs. I remember iconically that day too. I was DJing and obviously like probably terrible, like think I'm killing it for this crowd. I really honestly remember like some people dancing, some people not. It was in like this basement. It was so dark, lights going all over the place, super loud. I remember these 2 kids came up to me and they're like, DJ Little Man. They're asking me to play DJ Little Man in like Jersey Club. I didn't even know what Jersey Club was. And I have no clue who Little Man is either. I didn't know, like obviously, you know, years on after that, how big Jersey Club is for Rutgers, like specifically. Huge. I had no clue. And the whole time.
This is what, 2016 probably?
No, it was 2015.
2015?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
so this is probably when Jersey Club is just becoming
Yeah,
fit.
or maybe it was jumping before, but like to be quite honest, it wasn't big in like our scene or how I grew up and stuff. And when I was in New York, like they didn't listen to any of that. So the guy keeps going, Little Man, and I keep thinking he's calling me that, like that's my DJ name. And I'm like, no, bro, like my DJ name is, and like I'm like fighting with the kid, be like, why are you calling me Little Man? Like what? And he's like, no, bro, do you have DJ Little Man? I'm like, I don't know who the hell that is. I remember like researching him like literally like that weekend or like the next day and be like, yo, what is this music? Because I've never heard it before, you know? But yeah, I just iconically remember that day. And then, yeah, when we started working for like the wedding company, we were doing stuff like learning how to DJ. I was doing like photo booths and other stuff. And then really like Olive Oil formed when me and him started doing parties together in like the frat scene and like through my football team in college at Montclair State.
Everybody gets started in the frat basement. I'm convinced of it.
100%.
Everybody gets started in the frat basement.
100%.
And my buddy Chris, shout out to my boy Palma, played football with me and joined a fraternity. And we made fun of him for the longest time because like, bro, you have 100 free friends on your football team. Why do you have to pay to get new friends? But he decided to join a fraternity. And at the time, they had like a fraternity DJ there, but he would be like on and off. And for the kid's birthday, for my buddy Chris's birthday, they like threw it at the house and we DJ'd it. And like from there, they're like, wow, these kids are dope. Like, can we have you back? Can we have you back? And like that literally jump-started our career. I think it was like 26 Patterson Street in Clifton, New Jersey for Pike's, like Chris Palmer's birthday for Pike.
Right behind the Coles.
Yeah, for Pike Montclair State was like the birth of Olive Oil in this shitty little basement that fit maybe like 30 people. I remember too, like we had like this little DJ Newmark controller. I think it was like Newmark Mix Track Pro.
I brought a fucking whatchamacallit?
A milk crate.
A milk crate to use as a laptop stand because I didn't have
no
a laptop
laptop
stand.
So we had it on like a fucking milk crate.
Flipped the milk crate upside down and put the laptop on top of that.
Yeah. On this like janky ass, I don't even know. It could have been
I think it was like a T stand, like one of those T stands.
Like a T stand or like an old cabinet.
Yeah.
We had a speaker up on the ledge that ended up falling. Like the second party I think we ever did there. Thank God it didn't like smack your girl in the head. Yeah. But like old Mackie,
still had
$300
one of those speakers too. We got one of those speakers over at garage right now. Still
$300 Mackie that was like on the corner and stuff, and like we're just ripping. And we had like a big formula back in the day when you look at these open format guys and even stuff now, like you got to be able to play everything. When we first started, we were like really big on playing like a lot of throwback rap in the beginning, get people like kind of familiar with it, and they're just like vibing, and then like slowly kind of get into like our style, which is that like high energy EDM. And
we tried so many things out at frat parties, like in terms of music. I remember the first time we ever played like TV show theme songs, and the place just went ballistic. And we were like, what the fuck? Like, this works?
It is insane how that type of music, like, you wouldn't think maybe that would hit, but then it's like you play it and it's hitting. And what you said, going back, I'm convinced everybody starts in a fraternity basement. Like, it is, I feel like almost all of the DJs I've talked to, that was like their first time experiencing that type of energy where you have a lot of people in front of you and you're playing and you can actually see it and experience what they're feeling, when you're playing the music. And you're right, it's a good place to test out music because it's like, all right, what's hitting now, what's not? And this was something I noticed at Reds too because, again, it was at Rutgers, so it was very, again, fraternity, sororities, a lot. The difference between, like, I'm a big DJs guy. I mean, I say it every time, every podcast I say it, and that just the EDM, the high energy, the house music. And then at Reds, like, DJs would be playing that, and they'd be getting the requests for everything else that was like Taylor Swift and the sing-alongs and things like that. And it was interesting for me to see that. I hadn't experienced that, but you guys, from the jump, like you said, fraternity basement, that's where we were at, experienced that energy, and now we're starting to see what works and what doesn't work. And so when you first started playing, you guys were just trying out music that was already made music. You weren't making anything yourself.
Not at that point in time, no.
Yeah, I think we've had like one or two like mashups that we made, but nothing. It was pretty much, just stuff we were collecting on like SoundCloud and like music pools. Honestly, I don't even think we were part of music pools.
I think
it was like YouTube.
I might have been using Rob's Zip DJ account at that point.
Yeah, but we always talked about it too, and like always brought it up even now, is like, he went to Rampo and commuted, so like he wasn't really on campus much. I was playing football at Montclair State, and I commuted too. So we were close. Like, we live, 15 minutes to Montclair. So we were like in nightlife and or like in like the nightlife scene of like that crowd, but not. And Montclair State is so big, like, it's like 20-something thousand. I think only like 5,000 or 6,000 live on campus. There's really only a small collective group that like kind of consistently go out. So there's some that go to the bars. There's some that go to Hoboken, Morristown. There's some that go to Rutgers on Thursday or like NGIT, like that frat row. There's people that go into the city. So like Montclair State's never had like a booming nightlife. We don't have like a main bar where like the whole school goes to. So when we were always there, we were always just trying to enhance like nightlife and make it better. Like, if we had the opportunity to make it better and make the parties better, we were going to do it. And like, that's how we started. We were going to parties. We're like, they're okay and stuff like that.
We're just bored.
Yeah, we could DJ and like make them better. So like, we would try to control that, and it really helped us. We did a lot of fraternity sorority events, and that actually jump started us to our first bar gig, which was actually Murph's Tavern, still rocking. Shout out to Murph's Tavern in Totowa, New Jersey. Kendall, Brendan, Ant, Pete.
That was one of those like you had to be there like kind of moments.
Similar to Reds, I would say.
Yeah.
Murph's was like the like flash in time, one of those iconic, not even a year. We had like 16 or 17 weeks.
Yeah, that's all it was.
Yeah, 16 or 17 weeks of just absolute craziness on a Wednesday. 500 people coming in, people, like crazy stuff that was happening.
There was nice. There was just like 300 people waiting outside this place. Like,
damn.
It's like not big.
Yeah.
So,
and did that kind of gradually build as you guys started playing there, or was it a spot that like a lot of people
so
went to?
I'll run it down. So like, we're doing the fraternity stuff, still playing football. My senior year, I have class with this girl, Kendall. We become cool, and she mentions that her dad owns a bar in Totowa. I tell her I DJ, and she's like, my brother, when he was at Bryant, he used to do like college nights and like have a bunch of his friends and stuff. I always told my dad that I wanted to do something like that. Would you be down to do a college night there? And she was like, you DJ and stuff like that. We got friendly. Like, I'll try to help you out and set something up. And at the time, like, no one went there. It was just like a bar in Totowa, kind of close to Montclair. Montclair was going to Pub 46, Mother's Ale House. At the time, Alexis Steakhouse was like the big Wednesday spot. They lost their DJ and like entertainment license. They got deemed like a residential area. So they weren't allowed to do DJs, and like that was kind of like the spot. But even still with like Alexis, some days were up and down and stuff. So like, we really had a great opportunity to like kind of take that over. We had a meeting with her father and her brother, who was like the manager at the time, kind of taking over his dad's business, and they gave us the green light.
Honestly, the craziest thing about that entire meeting though was like, now this is the first time we're ever going to a bar asking for like money and all that kind of stuff. We tell him one price, and he's like, "Oh, I'll give you $150 more," and we're like, is this how it works?
Yeah. We came in, we're all nervous. Like, we gotta pitch this guy, you know? We don't know him.
Yeah.
His daughter's, like, you know, like, rooting for us. But at the time, it was our first ever bar gig. Like, we're just newly 21. Like, this is a new scene. We're saying we're going to start a party here on Wednesdays and pack it out. No one knows who this place is. Like, Merce had no nightlife in terms of, like,
everybody knew
or
it for the
anything.
St. Patrick's Day party, I would say.
Yeah. They're still really huge. And, like, they're a solid local bar. But at the time, like I said, Montclair State and Merce wasn't connected at all. So we pitch the idea, they run it. Like I said, we had a big backing because I played football. I had my whole team. I got my 2 other best friends at the time who were captains with me, bounce. So I had them bounce. We were running the show.
The unit, baby.
Yeah. So we had the backing of all Montclair State football.
D3 sports.
Yeah. At the time, I was a captain running it through my football season. That's a whole nother story. We almost lost our captainship. Like mid-year, the whole team ended up finding out, like the coaches and stuff. But whatever, fuck them. But yeah, so we run this whole thing. I have the backing of the whole football team. We have the backing of all the fraternities and sororities too, because we were doing all their formals and all the events, and like that was really who we were playing for. We do a couple of little football parties and stuff at 70 Hobson with my boy Volp. Shout out to them. But the main stuff we were doing were a lot of fraternity sorority based, and we were doing formals. We were doing like beauty pageant, like any type of events for them, because we had the backing of like the wedding stuff. So we had some access to like mobile equipment and like some bigger production stuff than like just a DJ, a college DJ with like a laptop and a controller. And then literally once we started like Merce on Wednesdays, like our first one was a hit off the bat. And the funniest story about the first one, I know I'm talking a lot, but like I feel like I've got these reloaded in the head.
Just keep
in terms
it
of
going.
like iconic stories.
I know where you're going with this, so go for it.
So we run the first Wednesday. We absolutely crush it, wall to wall. Place is packed out. They make a bunch of money. At the end of the night, we realize that their men's bathroom is destroyed. Somebody took the toilet, ripped it out of the ground, flipped it on its side, stood on the toilet, and ripped out the ceiling.
And then broke the sink in half.
The whole bathroom destroyed. Ceiling mangled, toilet ripped out, bathroom destroyed. We're like, we're fucked. Like, they're never going to ask us back again. It's over. It's done. Like, one-hit wonder. Like, they could never ask us back. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and the guy goes, listen, you can destroy my bathroom every fucking week. As long as these people come back, we're going to do this.
Yes.
Like, he's like, we will replace that bathroom every fucking week for the amount of money we made on, like, this Wednesday. And that was, like, the start of Merce, you know? 16 weeks we ran with it.
Yeah, we got it to go from September until, like, mid-December, and then kind of just fizzled out.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't fizzle out.
It's a local bar, so it's residential and all that kind of stuff, and there was too much going on where we couldn't.
It didn't actually even fizzle out in terms of like popularity and stuff. It just got very crazy. They were getting some heat from like the police in town, being like, you know, we're gonna kind of shut this down if you guys keep doing it. You know, it's a Wednesday. It was in a slightly residential area and stuff, and just was bringing in like other towns and stuff. It was becoming uncontrollable.
Yeah, like we had a 9 o'clock start time. People would start getting there at like 8.
Yeah.
Because
just wanted to be in line.
The crazy stories, people breaking in through the kitchen to get in, people paying, $300 to get in through the door. Like it was
the epitome of like a college, like kind of experience.
Well, when you build it, like where you were saying mid-season, everybody, like the coaches found out, dude, fuck them, dude. If the energy's there, you keep rolling.
Exactly. Like they sat me down and another captain who was bouncing at the time, and they're like, listen, like, how can you guys do this? It's like a Wednesday night. We have a game on, Saturday. People have to practice on Thursday. And I said, like respectfully, guys, like I promote stuff. Like I can't tell the team whether to come or not come. And this is Division III. Like I'm not on scholarship. Like I come to practice, I practice and do my thing. What I do to make money and stuff like that is like outside the realm. This isn't Division I. Like I wanted to like blow this up on like Old Row and like all those big things back in the day. Even like Barstool when they were big in the college scene.
Definitely should have, because in retrospect, it didn't matter. I
know, but I was always nervous because I didn't want to like hurt my team, hurt the university, and like kind of fuck me at the end.
Yeah, well, when you're in that situation,
exactly. I was still playing.
In college.
We were still playing like that year. Like it was my senior season and stuff. So, but it really helps, like because, like I said, we had the whole football team guaranteed going. Like wasn't obviously a whole 100 kids, but we had like at least 30 or 40 of them coming. We had Pike coming. We had other fraternities coming. We had sororities coming. We had every other athlete because, like I said, we were cool with the basketball team, the girls soccer team, the lacrosse team. So like it really helped. Sorry, getting a rogue call here. Let me turn my phone off. It really helped kind of the backing and helped us out tremendously. Like go to another bar spot, and then like get into Hoboken, and kind of built us to where we are today. People still come in and they're like, we know you guys from Murphs. Like that's like kind of the Red thing, you know, like that's the silver line. That's like the throwback, the secret code, you know?
Yes.
It's like we know olive oil through Murphs time olive oil. Like, because that was really our jump and our biggest like clout at the time, because it was like, who are these college kids packing out bars? And it really helped us lead to a lot of opportunities where we are now, into other things that we've got to do. And really the networking was the biggest thing in terms of other DJs, other promoters, other owners of bars and stuff. Really helped us through.
It definitely
through
put us in the talks of nightlife in New Jersey. Like people who didn't know us, like especially people out in Hoboken, they saw us coming in. Once we started coming into Hoboken more, they were like, who the fuck are these kids? Because at that time, every DJ was 30, like mid-30s.
Yeah, Hoboken was like a lot older in terms of all the DJs, and it was like really hard to get in. Like the barrier of entry, I feel like is a lot different now. Hoboken's definitely younger and filled with like younger DJs and stuff, which is dope. Which it should probably have always been. But back in the day, it was maybe just like a disconnect of a few years. But there wasn't many DJs DJing that were like under 28, 29. You know, they were all older DJs that have been running the scene for years, and it was very tough to get into Hoboken. And that jump started us into Hoboken. Actually, one of my coaches, who actually now is the head coach of Montclair State. Shout out to the boy Mike Palazzo. He's actually, he's like a South Jersey. Well, South Jersey I call it, because Central Jersey doesn't exist. We don't have to get to this debate.
Oh no!
Yeah,
You saying Central Jersey doesn't exist?
We'll
get
into
into it.
He's a South Jersey guy.
Okay,
he's a South Jersey guy.
Where are you saying? Where is he from?
He's from Toms River. So
South Jersey.
Okay. They're on the cusp.
South Jersey.
He was like an Aztec, Jack's Garage bartender type guy. Bartended up in Hoboken, and after the season, he like pulled me aside when the season's over, and he's like, "Hey, like let's do a college night thing on a Thursday at Mills." So that was our first ever bar we worked in Hoboken, was actually Mills Tavern. And that kind of got us to jump into Hoboken, was all through Murphs and like that craziness of doing the college nights my senior year, got us in over there. And then through that, a lot of other opportunities. I worked a corporate job in Hoboken that got us into Green Rock, and we can even go down that line too.
Yeah,
Brandon over here hired us. He told us a couple years ago the only reason why he actually brought us into Green Rock is because we were two people and he thought it was weird.
So that's why we got the chance here.
Yeah, 100%.
That's literally it.
That, and like I worked with a bartender at like my first ever corporate job was in Hoboken, and I was DJing. She was a bartender. That's actually how they paired us. They like made her my mentor at like my first ever job, big boy job out of school. I was like doing IT recruiting. One of those jobs that are like, it's like entry level, but might be like MLL marketing, like type, type place.
Yes.
And she was my mentor, and she was a bartender. I was a DJ, like nightlife. There can be connected in some way. And that ended up kind of sparking us to have this conversation with Brandon, because we were coming in here. We started meeting everyone in here, just kind of hanging out. And then they were looking to kind of add some DJs to their roster on Fridays. And, that's how we got the conversation.
That right there is such an underrated thing that I think a lot of people from the outside might not know, but just going and being part of the nightlife even before you start working in it will help give you opportunities. Like, if you know what I'm saying? Like, you guys end up talking to these people, you're here, and then all of a sudden an opportunity comes up where they need a DJ. They know you guys rip it. It's like, hey, do you guys want to spin? That's what I was talking about before the pod. I talked about Nick Lujan, who is killing it right now. And it was the same thing at Reds. He was friends with Cisnero. He knew about Reds because it took off. And he would come and he's like, yo, Red, I'll take pictures for you. I'll give them to you for free. I'll post them online, whatever. So he's taking pictures of everybody, whatever. Then he starts slipping, hey, I actually DJ a little bit here and there. Then all of a sudden, down the line, a night opened up. I needed somebody. I'd say, hey, Lujan, he's here all the time. He buys drinks. He's super nice, taking pictures, always gives them to me. Do you want to spin? Spun, and he ripped it. And it was just like from there on history, After Cisnero and Brandt graduated, he became the next resident DJ of $2 Tuesdays at Reds New Brunswick. And he ripped it every Tuesday. So just being there is something that helps. And the parallels that I hear in your story of the way it blew up to the way Reds did, down to the fucking bathroom. Let me tell you something about this. It wasn't the first night. So yours was the first night the bathroom got destroyed. This was probably the third or fourth night once we all got back from the pandemic, like shut down when we reopened. Everybody started to realize, all right, Reds is the spot. We can go there. So this was before like anybody really knew we were really pushing the limits, and we were just letting it fly. And the bathroom got absolutely fucking destroyed. And the kid who destroyed it, he's a friend of mine. We forgave him. We got it all figured out. But there was a couple people. But I have the videos of him doing it. It's absolutely hilarious. But same thing. After that night, it was just like someone came up to me and was like, yo, Red, check out the bathroom real quick. And I go and I look, and it's just holes in the wall. The entire stall is just kicked down. It's fucking door on the fucking sink.
I feel like that was like a thing before COVID, like around COVID.
Why is that a thing? But it is a thing.
They want to flood a bathroom. They want to do this. It's like, come on, guys.
I'll show you the video after this.
Yeah,
Maybe
please.
I'll clip it in, you motherfucker. You know who you are now. He's a good friend. But he eventually, I saw him in the summer, and I was like, dude, just send me the video. You came the rest of the year. Like, I don't care. And he sent it to me. It's absolutely heinous.
Yeah.
Just ridiculous.
I'm pretty sure we actually know the kids too. But yeah,
we?
no.
I don't even
what?
know. We do?
I think so.
You definitely do. I don't remember.
I'm not gonna name drop anybody, but
we can't blow him up, dude.
but that is definitely a thing because I remember going to other bars and that were kind of college-esque and seeing kids in bathrooms. I remember walk in and these two kids are literally just trying to rip the toilet out, and they just see me and they're look at me like I'm a bouncer. They're gonna kick them out, and I'm like, bro, I'm just trying to wash my hands. And piss.
Dude, we had to put a security guard back there. We had to put a guy
that was a thing.
Stationed back there so people wouldn't destroy it. And eventually, this is actually really funny. The stall, at some point, we just said fuck it. We took the stall down. So it was the 2 urinals and then just the toilet seat. And people would be, dude, this is so funny. People would be going to the bathroom. Their boys would stand in front of them, the block. And college kids just thought it was normal to have a bathroom like that. They never went out to a bar and shit. This is their first time. They just turned 21. They just think that's normal. And it's no. Motherfuckers were destroying this shit. You could see all the holes. So then the next year, we made it completely just fucking plywood, fucking 5 feet thick. If you punch it, your knuckles would have broke. We made it jail-proof, basically.
Go to Texas, Arizona. Go check out their stall door.
Oh, yeah. We got the same setup at Texas that we do at DJ's. How there's no door on the stall.
Oh, yeah. And it just fucking... Well, that just happened recently on the indoor bathroom you're talking about, where they just fucking punch through and destroy. I mean, that was fucking nuts. I don't know why it's a thing, but it is a thing.
I want to hear more about Reds, how that started and stuff.
Yeah, so... very similar to the story you guys just told, as I said, but really after the summer of the shutdown.
What was the big night? Tuesdays? Tuesday was the only night?
It started, we opened August 2019.
Where in New Brunswick was it?
This was right on the corner of, it's where the train station is in New Brunswick.
Okay.
Pretty much right below the train station.
That's mint location then.
Yeah, it's a great spot. I mean, it's the... RWJ, so it's marketed better than it actually is because what you have there is RWJ Hospital down the block. All doctors, nurses, after they get off their shifts, they're going to come have a beer, grab some happy hour food. Then you got people that are commuters that park above in the garage and take the train to the city at the New Brunswick station. They get off the train station, they're at Reds. And then you have Rutgers, of course. So if you have those big three, and then New Brunswick, people who live in the city, the locals that work in New Brunswick, that work around that area, nightlife on Friday, Saturday nights, on their happy hour once they're back from the commute. So you have all those things, but really the location, as good as that sounds, it was kind of in the middle of all of those things where not everybody would come from all those spots. So you would only get a few people, even pulling the Rutgers kids in, that at first we didn't have anybody. We didn't have really any Rutgers kids. A few came and they were like, holy shit, this place is nice. Big spot, tons of space, nice people. They're totally different than what we're used to out of college, because all the other places are very small space.
What are the bars, right? Isn't there Queens?
So you got
Pub,
Queens, Scarlet Pub, and Huey's. Those are the other three. You have Olive Branch, OB. Great spot. Shout out to fucking OB. Love
Olive
OB.
Branch?
Everybody, Olive Branch.
Olive Branch, olive oil.
There's something there, dude, and it's a great spot. And that one is also off the main strip. The three that are right there: Huey's Pub and Queens, all right across. So we're down the block. We're all the way at the outskirts of campus. And when we first opened, August 2019. We're getting a few of the doctors. We had nurses and stuff like that. We had some happy hours, some private events with them, and just a couple kids late night, a little bit of the New Brunswick nightlife. They heard about Reds. They came and checked it out. But it wasn't anything crazy. And we were open all day. We would do lunch and dinner. And then we go for till the 2 a.m., nightlife stuff. So then I was like, all right, we got to figure out a way to pull the Rutgers kids in because what we have now is okay, but we're not making enough to stay here. This is not sustainable. So if we can pull in people for nightlife, we have happy hour, we have lunch covered, let's get people in here from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. So I started doing dollar drinks. And the OGs of Reds, real OGs, they know about Dollar Drink Fridays. We started it at 9:30. This was very similar to what you guys had going on. As soon as it caught on, that first night, Dollar Drinks, it was absolutely insane. Like, I promoted it. We had a couple of the students had already been coming to Reds, and we told them, yo, we're doing dollar drinks. So you're like, yo, we're definitely going to be here. I was like, everybody says they're coming. Who knows who the fuck's going to show up? Line down the fucking block. I mean, it was nuts. Massive brawl. It was fucking crazy. I hopped the bar. I'm getting in there. It was fucking insane, you know? And that, after that first one, every Friday after that, and then I started to see it was working because Thursday night, couple of students that wanted to go out, they'd come and they'd start at Reds and then they'd work their way back up to the other bars, you know? Because if you were looking at like the campus of Rutgers where people are, we were the furthest down, and then you'd walk back up to where those main bars are, and that's where everybody lived. So they'd come and they'd start, and then I started to see, I was like, damn, this is working. It's doing what I wanted to do. Started booking tons of date nights for all the fraternities and sororities. They saw the space. It was big. They wanted to be there. And I'm like, damn, thank God, it's starting to fucking work. Yeah. Pandemic hits, shut everything down. March 13th, 2020 or whatever.
Yeah, I remember we were working. We were
at Murph's.
We were at Murph's. We did a one-off there.
For it was like their kickoff. They do like a St. Patrick's week, so it was like kickoff St. Patrick's week. And
yeah, we were at Murph's at that time. I remember.
Yep. And that's when they announced it, and it was like, because it had been creeping up, and we were like, what's going on? What is it? 2 week shutdown, whatever. Listen, I said this on the DQ pod. I turned off the lights that day, and I said, who the fuck knows if I'll ever turn those back on? Like, who knows? Like, we were brand new. Like, of course, we have the other two Reds. We were just talking about that before. One up in North Jersey, Carlstadt, and then the other one in North Jersey as well, Newark, next to Prudential Center. Yep. So
North and South Jersey.
I've been going.
So
I've been going
South
to
Jersey.
Here we go with this. Okay, listen, you look on a map.
North Jersey.
If you look on a map where I live, Manasquan, New Jersey, directly in the middle, that's Central. That is Central Jersey.
Once you get past the Driscoll Bridge, it's South Jersey.
That's what I know. That's how people.
Driscoll Bridge.
In high school, I played in an all-star game. It was called the North-South.
Okay.
They took Phillipsburg and they split the state, and that's who you're deemed if you're North or South. There was no Central team.
Listen, let me tell you something.
You either North or South. Parkway North, Parkway South.
True South
Parkway
Jersey.
Central.
You guys just make it up because you like don't want to be associated with Cape May.
I see the logic there. The true South Jersey, to me, is not even New Jersey.
Yeah, no,
it's not.
State.
Like, I'm talking the sticks. Like,
it's Philadelphia.
It's Philadelphia. They're Eagles fans.
Yeah,
They're like, we are Giants fans. If you're in New Jersey, if you live in New Jersey, what we consider
Giants
to be the greatest state in the fucking union, you're Giants or Jets. Like, that's it. You know, like, you're not Eagles. If you're Eagles, you're probably down, south.
No, it's true.
But of course, there's that argument. And then you got what Taylor Ham or pork roll.
Taylor
Ham.
Woo! Come on now, dude. Pork roll, egg, and cheese on an everything bagel, salt, pepper, ketchup. The greatest fucking sandwich there.
That just you guys say pork roll and just make it sound bad. Taylor ham sounds more appetizing.
My dad has Taylor Ham as well.
It's Taylor Ham.
It sounds more appetizing.
I'll give you the debate on Taylor Ham.
You call a Q-tip a cotton swab, or you call it a Q-tip?
Q-tip.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the whole thing.
Exact same argument.
The same thing. Like, I'm not going to Bing something. I'm going to Google search it. Like, I'm going to Google it. I use a Band-Aid, a cotton swab. It's Taylor Ham. Taylor Ham was the original brand that made pork roll to what it was. So you're not going to call it pork roll. You're going to call it Taylor Ham because that was the OG. You know, just like Google, just like cotton swabs, just like Band-Aids. I'm not going to put an adhesive on. I put a Band-Aid on.
Yeah, you don't put
exactly.
adhesive
You
strip.
eat Taylor Ham. And that's the debate.
That is a great point. I'm not going to lie.
That's the only.
Has no one ever brought that up to you?
No one has ever brought that up to me. That's the first time.
That's always our argument.
I've always heard like Taylor Ham is the brand, pork roll is what it is. That's like
it is. But Taylor Ham was the brand that made it to what it is. That's the thing, just like Google is the company that made search engines. You know what I mean?
But Taylor Ham is the brand.
Band-Aid is the adhesive. I'm saying Band-Aid is like the name.
I don't know, dude. Pork roll, egg, and cheese on an everything bagel, salt, pepper, ketchup. I mean, it's automatic. But then my dad, if we go breakfast, Taylor Ham, egg, and cheese, on a hard roll. That's what he gets, with salt and pepper. But yes, okay. So back to the Red story of where do we even get onto the Central versus South from the Reds?
Because you were talking about two spots that you had up north that were Reds.
Yeah, okay.
And then South Jersey.
Yeah. So the other two Reds in North Jersey, where my family's from, Bergen County, and all that.
Yeah.
That's where the other two are. And of course, March 2020 comes around, we shut down. I said, fuck. So then midsummer, I'm debating what we're going to do. We're just kind of waiting, to see what the announcement is going to be, when things are going to open. They started to let people back in, but as you mentioned before, New Brunswick in the summer, 6 people. That's it. There's nobody there. Like, Rutgers is out of season. People aren't really there. They're not back in there. Everybody's down the shore in the sun. They're all sending. So we just stayed closed throughout the summer, and then we opened up. It was all limited capacity anyway, so we didn't really have many outdoor options. And we opened in the fall. And the first night back, there were some of the people that had been coming to Reds, like the sororities and the fraternities. They came back, and we had a nice little night, nothing crazy. And then I remember one night I was there, and people were like, "Oh, let's go check out Reds," and it ended up being 6 of the 93 boys. And this is, I say the story so many times. And these 6 guys, Brant Wolf was one of them. It was Benji, Brant Wolf, Jake Green, Pete Innes, Sam Johnson, and Mark Tomasco. And these 6 guys come in, just me, bartending, and just those 6. And we're talking. We put the full send on. It was a Monday night. We're watching football, just shooting it. And they really liked the energy there. I mean, we would have. And I said, boys, I need you to go watch this Instagram video. This is pretty funny. I said, you need to watch this Instagram video. It's a video that I made. And this is the video where I say the oven ain't even hot yet, which is a staple saying now to this day. So they go back. They watch the video, I guess. The next night is a Tuesday, and historically at Rutgers, Tuesdays is a big night.
That's interesting.
I believe $2 Tuesday was a thing before we made it the mainstream thing. I believe they did do that.
It was always Tuesday was like a big thing at Rutgers?
Yeah, it was always a big thing at Rutgers. I heard that. And so they come in on a Tuesday night, and it is fucking packed. They told everybody. They're like, yo, this guy Red's cool. It's a great space. Let's go there. So the next night, they bring everybody in. And it just is fucking, and it's just me behind the bar again because I didn't have anybody to work. It was at the point where you couldn't really get anybody to work. Everybody's on unemployment still, getting, So it's packed. Everybody has a great time. They're all good people. Like, it was just a great time. And then from there on out, it just kept building throughout the fall. Now, it was limited capacity, so it worked to my advantage in that it became the same people every night, and they got to know who I was even better. They got to know me as a person, and because of that, I became close with them. They wanted to be at Reds every night. And again, there wasn't really many options. The other bars are very small. Their capacity at that point was like 20 people. And for us, I think the lowest we were at was like 85.
How long did you guys go for? Like
the run of like
the
from
run
that
of
point
Reds
on
$2
to
Tuesdays, like
so
the real
so
shit.
that was that lasted pretty much throughout the whole fall. Was like that, like same people every night. Started to build. I had to start waitlisting people and be like, hey, we have too many people in right now. I was always pushing the limits, and it got to the point where we started getting checked on like every night. Like, it was crazy. Like, game days started being very big, 6 a.m. It was the same thing with you guys. How popular it became brought in the wrong attention as well. The heat, exactly. And this was during the pandemic time where it was like, yo, you can't have that many people. Why are they standing? Why are they here?
Yeah.
And I'm like, because this is all fucking bullshit. That's why. I couldn't say that to his fucking face, So that built it very well. The spring semester came around.
Into Green Rock during the
pandemic. I cannot wait to hear these stories. But so the spring
Most of might be cut.
Maybe. So the spring comes around, and people had heard about Reds, and that's when it really started to get a little bit more popular. Where it really took off was they invited me to go to spring break the first day back from winter break. They said, Red, we're all going down to Miami for spring break. You got to be there. And I was like, oh, shit.
How old were you at the time?
At first, I was like, I can't go to spring break.
How old were you at the time?
How old was I? I think I was 28. So I was,
My
whatever.
age,
But they all thought I would. They would ask me how old I was, and I would say, how old do you think? And they'd say 24, 25. I'd just agree with whatever they said. They said 27. I was like, yeah. They said 29. I said, yeah. It didn't even matter. I just agreed.
You kind of had like 2 college experiences if you think about it.
This sent me back in time, dude. So I go into spring break, and I'm just running the show, fucking buying shots for everybody. Like, I tell the story of Sam Johnson and I fucking running the show down in Miami. I'm talking all the sorority girls. We're buying fucking 20 shots of pop. They're fucking handing them out. Music's firing. EDM house. We're fucking rolling. Dude, it was absolutely electric trip. I got to know every group, and it was basically like the people who were coming to Reds. All those separate groups that had been coming to Reds on different nights or whatever when they could get in were all down in Miami together. So it kind of brought everybody closer together as one. And when we came back from spring break, it was over. Every night was fucking juiced. And that's when I brought back $2 Tuesdays, because I was like, yo, these kids are in here buying $5, $6 drinks every Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's packed. I was like, why don't we open up another day and bring back $2 Tuesdays? And let's do it. So I started doing $2 Tuesdays, and it just, again, just propelled to a whole new fucking level. And that's when you were asking about the sports teams and stuff like that. They heard about it. They started coming. Now I got 60 football guys outside wanting to get in. The basketball players started coming. And it was just, to me, I always describe it as the golden era. It was like when someone comes in and asks you, and you're like, yeah, if you know, you know.
Yeah,
and that was like, to me, it was the most stressful time, because building that and having to deal with it and manage it was living hell. But it was just like, every night was so much fun. And as we got closer to the end of that year, after spring break ended and I saw how fun it was, I knew all the kids were graduating. It was all seniors. It was like every night I would get a little bit like disheartened. I'd be like, damn, we're one day closer to like losing all these good people, And I knew it was never going to be like, once they reopened everything back to normal, it was never going to be like that again. The fact that we were able to get so close because of the pandemic is what made it so special. We all built it together. Even though it was my family spot, they helped build it. And that's where I met Cisnero. That's where I met Brant. And then that poured in the next year. I said, yo, that's where I learned about their love for music, how good they were, their style of music. And then it just kind of rolled into the next year, and we just 100% capacity. We had no worries. We just let it fly. And that's kind of where it went to that next semester in fall of 2021. And then in the spring of 2022, still a little bit of runoff, but all the other bars really had opened up back then. So it started to kind of fall back to like a normal flow, and we had our regulars, they had their regulars, but Reds wasn't the only spot to be now. And so we started doing more private event stuff. $2 Tuesdays were still crazy. And then we were looking at the numbers from the backlog of COVID, and it was just like there was no way with what it turned in, like when it became back to the normal flow, we were just never going to make that back rent up. Like it was insane, you know, because they were very nice to not make us pay the full rent.
Yeah,
while we were limited capacity. It's the only reason we were there.
Yeah.
There was no, like, we wouldn't have been able, if they made us pay full rent while it was that limited capacity,
yeah, you wouldn't be able to.
there was no chance.
Yeah.
So
there was a lot of spots in Hoboken.
So we still owed a shit ton. We talked to them, and they understood what went on, and we offered a buyout. They accepted it, and we got out of there. So it left us in not too bad of a position, and thank God the Devils were so fucking good last year that I went right back to Newark and started helping my dad, and I've never seen that place like that. So that was kind of like the reign, and it was just so much fun while it was there, and I still wish we could be going, but again, it was never going to be the same as it was that whole golden era time. But all those relationships it's the reason why we're all sitting here right now. You came up to me in DJs, and you're like, I know Cisnero.
Yeah.
I saw what was going on at Reds. We did a similar thing. And now that you're telling me, it's like almost exact.
Yeah.
Like almost exact.
And the craziest thing, too, is like, you know, people will remember this like for the rest of their lives. Like, we did something like iconic, you know? Like, to this point, like I said, like there's people that still come in here that, you know, are our age and was there like from the beginning and always bring it up and like I had so much fun, or you did, you know, like my house for my birthday, like we threw a house party there, and like we made a positive, memorable, iconic impact in people's lives, especially in their college experience, which for a lot of people is like the best years of their life, you know. It's pretty cool.
It's a jumping point. It's where you started. So like we're like you said, we're not sitting here right now if that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
I'm convinced of it.
It is crazy to think about that concept. Like just thinking back to like where it all began, and you had no clue where you would have ended up or where you would have been at that point. And then you look back and you're like, God damn. It was crazy because during that time I would ask myself like, why the hell is this happening? Like, why am I going through this? And now you're kind of on the other side of it. You're like, God damn, this is pretty, it worked out, you know, it's like cool. And so where did the name, you talked about the birth of Olive Oil when you guys became that solidified group. Where did the name come from? Like, where did you come up with the name Olive Oil?
Well, here, let's start with this first.
Yeah, we didn't really truly get into like olive oil.
We didn't,
okay.
not at all.
Okay.
But we got presents.
We do have some presents.
Okay.
Hopefully this is the first ever in Reddcast history that you're actually getting gifted something.
Okay, yeah.
All right, so speaking of all that old shit, that's the first ever piece of olive oil merchandise.
It's been worn plenty of times.
This is the first ever piece of olive oil merch.
Made 7 years ago. It's been worn a bunch of times, but there's only like 20 of them ever made.
Yo.
There's like only like 20 of them ever made. I've only really seen a few of them out. It's just a beat up dad hat.
This is electric right here.
At Green Rock.
We got a Green Rock hat for you.
Green Rock Tavern.
Shout out to Green Rock. Green Rock's
is
the
electric.
GOAT. We'll get into that too.
OG merch right there.
Oh, this is sick. The New Jersey license plate?
Yeah, New Jersey license plate, a little
Let's
throwback.
show that off.
We should have like a central or South Jersey for you.
I
rather.
was just about to say, I know he's going to say something about that.
We did make a shirt with that. That's a little Green Rock, little different collab.
Yeah. If you flip on the back, I think it's
The back's the best part.
So this is all like vintage OG.
well that one actually was like a few years ago. But yeah,
Game days
that's
are
a
better at Green
game
Rock.
day, Sunday fun day collab. Yeah.
Damn,
was-
so
that
this
was
is
a
all
collab.
right before all that.
Yeah.
And then little OG olive oil sweatshirt.
Oh, let's go. And it's black, dog. Let's fucking go.
Yep. Olive oil sweatshirt.
Damn. Let's fucking go, dog.
So on a gift.
Oh, this is sick, dude.
And there
Say,
you go.
what does it say? Not so virgin.
Not so virgin.
That's
olive oil.
electric.
Product of Jersey, baby.
My garage.
That's absolutely fucking electric. Yo, thank you, boys. Dude.
No problem, no problem.
Come on now.
For you and Corey. Shout out to Corey.
Oh, Corey Frank, the legend. Come on now. Just told
Corey,
me. should
hopefully,
we-
like I said,
I don't know when
it's-
this is going to air. He just told me on the way here he's having a kid.
Congratulations, bro.
Dude, I
That's
freaked
awesome.
the fuck out when he goes, by the way, check it out. And he just showed me his phone while
Just
goes,
low
I'm having
key.
a kid. I went, I was like, bro, you're going to drop this bomb on me, dude? Yo,
That's why you guys got
for
food.
this,
That's why
bro.
you guys are a little late. You know, you guys got some food to celebrate. Hopefully
This-
you paid for that.
This right here, this first ever piece of olive oil merch, man.
Iconic. There was only like 20 made. It was like all our friends. Like it was the first time ever trying to like make merch. We like bought the hats, and my uncle like did some embroidery. So like he did them actually the first time, and like I said, it was just, work in progress. There was a lot of trials and tribulations with olive oil merch and other stuff. We worked at another bar after Murph's. We tried to essentially replicate that before we even got into Green Rock, Hoboken, and that was a shit show for sure. We can go down that path, but there's more negative than positive things to say there. But there was some good lights out of that one. We met Angelo the Kid, who's actually one of our very good friends, and got him into Hoboken at the time. Probably the one of the only kids when we were DJing, because we obviously were a little cocky when we were doing it, with Murphs and everything. It was going well, and we were doing well, that, some of these college DJs, in our opinions, weren't up to our level, you know what I mean? They didn't take DJing seriously, And Angelo was one of those kids when he was DJing. We were like, wow, this kid is legit. And he was younger than us at the time too. We were just out of college, so we did Murphs. Then the next year we both graduated. I graduated. So I did a fifth year. He was already graduated when you were doing Murphs, and we did another spot. Like I said, didn't really go so hot. Was busy at some point, but we had big falling out with the owner. But we met Angelo, and Angelo kind of took over that night, and that night almost became like a Ramapo spot, not necessarily Montclair State. But at the time, Angelo was 20 years old. Yeah.
Angelo Kid?
Yeah, we ran, like I said, we tried to replicate Murph's because Murph didn't want to do it for the year after that when I graduated. I was working corporate, and I was like, we still need to do this. This is our bread and butter.
At that point, we were probably at Green Rock one Friday a month, too.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah, so we actually, no, we weren't at Green Rock at all. This is the fall of that year.
That November.
The fall of 2019.
That November, I guess, then.
Yeah. We weren't at Green Rock at all, so we wanted to do something else. And so we tried another spot in Totowa. And at the time, it was going good in the beginning. We had a couple of weeks that were kind of slow. I still had my pole because I was just outside. Like I said, 1 year removed from college. But there was a couple weeks that it didn't even really get slow. They just weren't slammed wall to wall. And the owner ended up getting approached by promoters at Ramapo, put them on, and then it was a dynamic of us running a party and controlling it. We did a Merce where we had full control, anything from drink specials to if we're doing a cover charge or not, bringing in security, running nightlife, doing promotions and flyers and stuff. When we were doing it, we wanted to do it right, and it worked well at Merce because I feel we really had that full control. To him backdoor, adding promoters from a different school on that had New York City promotions, and then they were running the door and taking money from the bar.
It's the type of
it was
people
all,
that
it was a whole nightmare.
you got to sell tickets if you want to DJ here, and then they don't give you your cut on the ticket price. It's all bullshit.
I just want to say something about that.
Everyone to get it on the pot. That was the reality of it.
That's why we did it in New York a couple times when we first started. We did a couple boat parties, a couple things at a couple spots here and there, and we're we're not doing this shit.
I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to name the name of the spot, but the guy that we worked with after Murph's, he was the first ever person on Bar Rescue. He had a bar in Montclair, and they never aired it until season 4. It was known as the Lost episode. Yeah. And the owner was known for fighting his customers, ended up losing his bar in Montclair. We didn't know that until week 2 or 3 working with the guy, because one of the kids in my football team was wow, this guy looks familiar. I've seen this guy before.
Oh, yeah.
And he ended up finding the episode. We looked it up and found all this stuff. And like I said, we had a big falling out with that specific spot and that person because of shadiness and back end. Like I said, there's a lot of rats. The reality is at the time we had a good thing going, and he got greedy, and there was a couple weeks that weren't as good as it was. We had to just ride the wave, It was I think the first week or second week in October was kind of slow. Obviously, around that time, people are pushing for Halloween, and it's tough to be consistent, especially for a weekday type party. He brought in people from Ramapo and stuff. We didn't know who they were. Then it was a weird dynamic. You have people coming from Ramapo, people coming that are local, and then people from Montclair State. That was our party. People are getting charged crazy amounts at the door for cover charge. Drink specials aren't being honored. It was all over the place because at the end of the day, there was multiple people running kind of their own show. We ended up backing out. And like I said, at the time, Angelo kind of took it over with those people, and then he ended up backing out. We actually, like I said, the best thing from that was like the relationship we built with Angelo, because it became like a true friendship. And when we actually got into Hoboken, we brought him in. And the first ever spot he played in Hoboken was Green Rock, actually. So like that helped us, and it still helped like connections. So it was still important for, you know, our growth and development.
And it
we
also
met some people.
It forced us to. We have to go out and we have to look and we have to get our own. We have to get more shit.
Yeah.
Like, we can't just rely on doing a Wednesday night party if we want to do this full time and stuff like that. So
Exactly, and that was like another Wednesday replication, but it also too made us like as college kids be like, we have to hustle. You know, like we got to go out and like promote and you know, market ourselves and like lock some things down and business.
If we're not working out a Friday night, we're going out. We're going out. We're talking to managers. We're seeing who we can meet. All that.
And
like
you mentioned before, like the biggest thing in nightlife, even to this day, is networking face to face, going out and physically being there. Don't send the email. Don't send the text. Don't let somebody else try to like do the work for you. Like do it for yourself. You want to play somewhere, even to this day, you go there, you show face, you make friends, you meet them as people. You know, you don't walk in the door and be like, this is what I do, this is what I bring, book me now. You know, like it took us a long time to get into Green Rock to where we were, and it wasn't the first time we're walking in, hey, we're these cocky kids that are going to bring people and like be the best DJs you've ever had. You know, like deep down inside, we probably felt that. We probably felt that we could do a good job, you know, because look at us now. Like, but at the end of the day, you know, you got to go and meet the people and like, you know, build a name for yourself, build a good reputation. Exactly. And then when your opportunity is there, take it and crush it. And that was the biggest thing. We had an opportunity after 10 months of kind of coming into Green Rock. Like I said, I worked a corporate job. I met a bartender here who I was working with, and for months she was coming in like trying to, you know, get our name to Brandon and get our name to a couple of the other owners. And then there was one time Brandon was like, let's meet. I want to get another Friday guy on a rotation. They essentially had 4 Friday guys, 1 Friday a month, and then a Saturday and Sunday guy who was like their designated like main DJ. And we got 1 Friday a month. And 1 Friday a month turned into 2 Fridays.
And then it turned into Brandon sent us a text, yo, you want to play SantaCon?
Yeah.
And then it turned into this and turned into that. And then
2 Fridays, 3 Fridays, 4 Fridays, we book 5 spots now. So we do all the bookings of the DJing.
It just really quick, I don't know if you said it when I was in the bathroom though, but that party that was so shit as it was, we also met Nico Nutsu that party. He was bartending.
Oh, yeah?
West Bar Nico.
Yeah.
Okay. He was bartending that.
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
That's true.
That's how we meet him. When we start working here, we meet more people that work at DJs, and that's how we end up.
We met Ferrari,
eventually.
too.
Yeah, we met Ferrari through that.
We met Ferrari, who's another
So
big
as
DJ,
crappy as it was, there
producer.
was still a lot of good takeaways that that occurred for us at the end of the day.
There's always some positives,
Yeah.
like in the silver lining, like you guys mentioned. And in the moment, it is tough to see because, again, when a negative experience like that happens, it's like that's the overarching, like that's what you feel, that's what you experience. But then out of that, it's kind of down the line later where you realize, oh, wait, this all happened because of that. And shout out to Angelo the Kid. I mean, he's a fucking killer DJ, dude. That's cool that you guys like ended up like.
We didn't fuck with him at all. You know, like the first party we connected with him was Halloween.
He was a dorky
the biggest
kid.
Night.
He was
And
a
they
dorky
brought
little
in this
kid.
kid, and we're like, who is this kid Angelo? You know, we don't know who he is. He's like their guy. He's the kid that was playing New York City.
He was
stuff
in the same
for them,
frat
you know?
as like a couple of our boys from our hometown, and he said yeah, you're like he's a nice kid, you're gonna like him. And I just remember we met him. Like he's a dork.
Yeah, we're like, he's so dorky. He's a good
still-
DJ, but he's like so dorky and nerdy. He's young, you know what I mean? At the time,
He sends us pictures in our group chat every day of him just getting stains all over his sweatshirt.
Yeah,
he doesn't know how to wear a shirt without getting a stain on it.
just
It's
saw that
unbelievable.
recently.
It's
on one of
unbelievable.
your stories about that.
He should be Angelo Steen. He always gets stains on his shirt, especially when he's like headlining big shows.
I'm gonna make a compilation for like the year of Angelo stains.
But
he drops bangers. That's for damn sure.
You're right though. Like you have to like figure out your own path, and like it's always gonna be up and down. Everyone's gonna experience it, and like there is a lot of, you know, it sucks. There's a lot of shitty people in this industry. But there's a lot of great people. And there's a lot of people that will network and help you build. Like you're never gonna get to the top or get higher like by yourself. The reality is like there's always somebody that will lend a hand, that will help grow, and like you also have to do the service of building other people up too, you know, and taking them to bigger and better spots too. And like that, you know, Green Rock really like Merce got us the clout a little bit of like our crowd and backing and following, but like Green Rock truly put us on the map in terms of like everything else we've done in Hoboken until now.
And
because
especially
Green Rock is such a big
just
staple.
in the state of New Jersey in general.
100%. Green Rock is such a big staple of Hoboken and of New Jersey. Everyone knows it's iconic. You have iconic bartenders, iconic managers, owners, crowds of people that come in, and like that really help us put our name on the map in New Jersey in terms of like DJing, in terms of people knowing who we were down the shore, who we were, you know, in Morristown, New York City, and other spots in Hoboken.
Plus, like historically, it wasn't a place where a lot of DJs got to DJ at. So like if you got into that place, everybody's like, well, who the fuck are they?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You know?
Exactly. When you first get the opportunity, you're like, wait, who are these guys? We haven't heard of them before. It's usually, and what you said before about how when you first broke in, it was like all the older DJs. The thing about New Jersey nightlife is it's so elite. As I think it's probably the best nightlife there is. It's just the system that if you know the system of what it is and how everybody comes up here in the winter, fall, winter, spring, and then down the shore in the summer, and you start to meet and see the same people that are in that. When you guys first came on the scene, I remember when I first heard of you guys, because I mentioned this to you, before even the Reds era, I had been sending DJs for a while. My good friend Quinn Flood, who I just dropped his episode, I mean, absolutely hilarious, but he was working at DJ's bartending, so we went to see him, and then, of course, Jack Pringle, who worked at Reds, the GOAT in my eyes, and we went there because we knew them, and we started to meet more people, and we ended up becoming friends with a lot of the bartenders, a lot of the promoters, a lot of people that are there, and it goes, what you said, creating relationships. When I first started going there, I didn't even have Reds. Like, I was just going as a customer and as a friend of Quinn, a friend of Pringle. And then I started going as a friend of more of the bartenders and more of the promoters. And then it starts to create this energy. And it's crazy because their hospitality is just amazing there. And I really enjoyed the energy. And then, of course, the music, right? So then I'd been going there a couple years. And then you guys really, like, came on the scene. And I was like, yo, these guys are dropping fucking bangers, dude. And I went to fucking Birch one time, I think, must have been 2021 or right at the beginning of 2022.
It's honestly crazy that we really haven't met. Like,
I know. No crossover until this point.
Yeah, I know. It's wild.
You know what, though? Again, it was just like scheduling the podcast, like, so busy. Like, you guys are playing every night. I mean, the amount of stuff I'm working every day on all this stuff, and the same with Reds.
It's also like location-based, too.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
We did some Rutgers stuff, but they were like formals that were like up here. Like when we were in college, we never played a Rutgers like college bar, and we've never actually done like a Rutgers fraternity thing, like party in terms of something down there.
My buddy was in a frat. We did one boat party but it was over here. It was out of Weehawken.
That's kind of like how we got it. So like we had people that went there and stuff, and like some connects, but we were so jam packed on like Montclair State, and then we do like a couple one offs with Ramapo that like we didn't even really get a chance in college to like branch around. Plus I was playing football in college too, so that was taking up a lot, and we were still doing like the wedding stuff. So like that was our backing and kind of still is to a point where we have like a really good relationship. Shout out to Rob Franicola, Ultimate Entertainment, and Nutley. Fisher still does a lot for them, and we're actually building out like a huge studio with them in their new office, like on production and like whole content creation. So like Rob has been phenomenal. Like
Rob's
to
like
us
Rob's,
for years.
Rob's family. He's straight family.
Yeah. And that's the thing, too. Like, we were still doing a lot of stuff in college. And even still, like, I usually do 1 gig a month still for Ultimate Entertainment. So I get invited to the Christmas party. And Fisher does, like, all the social media content, a lot of the reels and stuff.
If I'm around, I still try to help him out when I can.
Yeah, 100%.
So, shout out to Rob and stuff. So we didn't really get a chance to, like, truly branch. We've done colleges, like, after we graduated. But, yeah, no. So that's what I'm saying. Like, we didn't even get a chance to even experience like Rutgers bar scenes and like that nightlife too,
yes. And also in terms of the seasons, right? Now it's all very connected. What I was saying before the pod, how like the whole in the summer you have I only went to really DJs, and so I knew most of those people, and there were some crossovers, but now it seems like once the fall, winter, spring comes around, it's a different area. Everybody, obviously, the Jersey Shore shuts down, but there's a whole separate like side of people that take care of like Class Kills does Porta and all that, right? And so I was never really connected with those guys because I never went out in the fall, winter, spring. I was always working. That was always our season. But in the summer, it was always the DJ. So I started seeing you guys come on the scene and just ripping it. And then I went to Birch one night it was during winter break of Rutgers. It was one of my friend's birthdays, and I walk in, who's playing? You guys. And I mean, it was absolutely fucking electric. But when I walked in there, you guys know Paul G Money. He's like one of the head managers there. So
Paulie
we grew up together. We go back. And it was cool because we were talking about before Reds took off and before he got to where he's at now with Birch, like running the show. We were both talking about nightlife and what we were doing. And it was right when I had opened up Reds. So it was cool to talk to him because he had been talking and was interested in doing nightlife. And so now to see where he's at and to see where Reds went, it was cool because I remember specifically that conversation at DJ's. But I walked in, I saw him, you guys were playing. I mean, fucking Nicole and Nico were at the bar. Fucking Anthony was there. It was like, holy shit, everybody's playing. And it was just, but again, that energy exists now in this circuit. It's just, if you've experienced that energy, it's hard to go somewhere else and really have as much fun as you do when you're doing that.
100%.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, Miami. like you said before, you got Miami and Vegas, and I'm sure, like I haven't been to Europe yet, but I'm sure a lot of stuff in Europe's like the best. But
it's even funny too, because when we didn't ever, when we obviously grew up in Nutley, so it's like 20 minutes away from here. So like when we turned 21, we used to always go to Hoboken, and we always talked about it before we ever worked here. Like Green Rock would be the perfect spot for all of us.
Well, you had said it. Yeah. I never really came here. I would just go to Cadillac.
Cadillac, shout out Cadillac back in the day, was a great spot too. But yeah, I always thought like Green Rock and Olive Oil would be perfect. Like it was very similar style. It was very EDM heavy here, very big room-esque. Like this is the music we were listening to. We were having a bunch of fun here as customers before ever we really like took the DJing even seriously. So it was funny how it kind of all worked out, and like almost in a way it was like the perfect fit of having a connection that worked here and just kind of setting that up. But yeah, no, it's funny. Like Green Rock has really formulated and created, who we are today, and helped us. Like you mentioned, the connections on all the other bars. Like a lot of these people work down the shore. Like we met Fun A and Slav and Diamond, Nicole, Nico, and a bunch of other people.
Yeah, we met all those people through Green Rock.
Yeah.
We don't meet any of them.
Yeah,
without
even like
Green
DQ.
Rock. Yeah,
DQ
exactly.
Class Kills we met like through stuff at Green Rock and stuff. Spots in Morristown, connections through that, through Ferrari and Frankie Steele, through Iron Bar and Horseshoe, through Green Rock and Hoboken. So like, at the end of the day, like Merv's May has quote unquote like started us and kind of got at the jump, but like Green Rock is like the true, I would say like the true home bar.
This is forever home base.
Yeah,
this
is
the
home base. This is the home base for us, and this will forever, like I said, be home. And hopefully one day, we can come back and do, maybe something annual here, and hopefully we're at a bigger spot. At the end of the day, like these are all stepping stones. We're always trying to build and grow and kind of, take on new spots after Jersey and kind of expand. And shoot bigger,
Yes.
So
that was one of my questions. So that's again the circuit of New Jersey. You have all the DJs, and it's cool to watch people that are kind of following in that same path that you guys like. Shout out to Timo. He DJ'd Reds before he started, and then he started going to Morristown, and I mean one of the nicest kids out there. And you get into the circuit here, and one of my questions was, what do you guys want to do in terms of your like DJing and music and producing? Because you shout out to Hove too. I mean, you guys make a ton of music with him. He kills it. He actually made it to Reds one night when Marty and Timo were there on a $2 Tuesday. He came by, so that's where I first met him. And then of course it all got connected through the grapevine. And also I want to shout out real quick. I got to divert. Joey DeSarno. You guys probably know.
Yeah, of course.
Me and him. Shout out to him because he's been grinding and he's been a good DJ for a long time, and he's killing it now. He's playing DJs, playing all these spots, right? Him and myself were enemies in college. We played baseball. They used to, let me tell you something about this, and he'll know. He's probably going to see this. I'm going to clip it anyway. His entire team hated me. I was like the only
Where did you play?
kid. I played at Susquehanna University.
No, Susquehanna.
He played at Moravian.
A couple football players.
Right? Yeah, a couple football guys, right? So
Played
now Susquehanna's like legit at football now. Shout out to Coach Perk, absolute fucking legend. He has turned that program into, fucking just swept the landmark. They're in the fucking playoffs now, just amazing. But we were enemies because, and I'm going to talk about why we were enemies, but we played baseball against each other, and I was pretty damn good. He was also very good, but I was pretty loud, as I am right now. I got a lot of energy. That's why your style of music fits me very well. It's just, it's a lot of energy. So I don't think they like the fact that I was loud and good, because whenever I'd hit a big double or something, I'd show the energy and stuff like that. And they were always like a rival of ours during my 4-year tenure, because we were one of the better teams throughout my 4 years. They were always really good. Catholics always really good.
That's interesting, yeah.
Yeah, so
know much about
there's a story. I was dating a girl back in college, and I guess it was, she went to UPenn, and a kid on Moravian baseball was dating her little, who also went to UPenn. So she went to visit her one weekend at Moravian, and she was visiting my girlfriend at Penn, and she said, oh, my boyfriend plays baseball at Susquehanna. And she goes, oh, it isn't this kid, is it? She said my name. And my girlfriend at the time was like, yeah, that is who it is. And she goes, damn. She goes, they said that the one kid you cannot like in this conference of all the teams we play is this motherfucker right here.
Fish. Circle back to like olive oil's origin.
Yes.
I know you were.
I mean,
about it
essentially, like it goes back to working in the wedding company. There was a couple people there that like worked for the company. You know, you ever hear of Dean Anthony, another
Yes.
DJ? Okay,
Yes.
so he was working for the wedding company
Shout
at the
out
time
Dean.
too, and he had a bunch of old videos up on YouTube, like Jersey Shore era, 2009, 2010, and it was spoof videos of like VH1 used to do like the behind the music stuff, and they called it Behind the Meat because they called themselves the Capicola Brothers. It was him and this other guy, Val, who used to work for the
Valentino
company
Rosa.
too. And in the videos, they'd be talking back and forth, talking about the song they made, and it's like a documentary style interview kind of thing. And they would randomly in one of the videos, they would just ask dumb questions in between. It was like quick cuts. It would be like, "Oh, what's your favorite color?" And then they would respond and say, "Olive oil." "Well, what's your favorite tanning lotion?" "Olive oil." "What's your favorite this?" "Olive oil." "What's your favorite that?" "Olive oil." To fuck with Dean and bust Dean's balls all the time, we would just say olive oil after every single thing that he would say. And then it turned into the Olive Oil Brothers thing.
Yeah, it was like an
Whatever.
inside joke thing. And how we kind of got connected, because obviously we were friends working in the same wedding company. I actually started out as like an MC. Like he was definitely a lot better DJ than me when we started out, because he was working before. And like even though I was DJing still, I still kind of could do it.
Still am better.
I don't know, debatable now, but I originally started like as an MC like for the company. Like I was still DJing, but they were really pushing me to go like the MC route. They needed it, and obviously similar to you, Red. Like I'm loud and talk, and even with Green Rock, that was a big thing because I was on the mic, and that wasn't a popular thing, and it's still not even as well. Nowadays, I feel like now it's really big for all DJs to like be able to talk on the mic. But back then, like that was never a thing. Like there was a true difference between a DJ and an MC. Even if you look at like the original culture of DJing for years and years ago. But now specifically, like pretty much every Hoboken DJ is vocal and like can talk on the mic. But that was the biggest kind of dynamic that we brought, was like I was MCing and like pumping the crowd up while he was DJing, and then I would DJ for a little bit. He would MC too, but it was primarily like I was mostly MCing and people were DJing. People didn't even know I knew how to DJ for like the longest time. I was like the hype man. People were like, that's the hype guy. That's the mic guy. So that's how we really started, and we got like connected and stuff, because we would go out and do like little sweet 16s and like bar mitzvahs and like other stuff. I would MC and then he would DJ, and that was like kind of the Olive Oil college connectivity. And the reason why we were working together is we'd bring that dynamic to college parties, which they didn't expect that at all. Like to have like two people and like one person like engaging. And what we used to do with Olive Oil too, which was funny, we used to fill olive oil bottles with alcohol and bring around and like pour shots and stuff like that.
That's fucking
I was
electric.
really big. We were really big on content, which definitely helped us for sure. And we used to do a lot of GoPro videos. So we'd do GoPro and like cut our own videos. I would do like POV where I'd walk around with it like on my head.
I'm pretty sure
or,
a bunch
like,
of them
hold
are
on to
still
it.
on the Instagram, like all
Yeah.
the original like college videos.
Exactly. And like just try to shoot videos of like our nights and stuff, whether it's like a formal or a house party. And like that definitely helped us out too, kind of build our name and build our crowd, build our clout. And this was like all pre-Murphs. And even these, I guess content tactics to this day are still like, huge marketing tools that people use. And we, obviously continue to use too while we
But
while we DJ.
just back on the Olive Oil, the name itself, it was always a thing where it's like, well, the Beatles were called the Beatles. That's such a stupid name.
Yeah.
Like
Even with Marshmallow too.
like
yeah.
Marshmallow's a DJ. Like
Yes.
why can't we just call ourselves Olive Oil?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's just like as the dumb joke. You're
Yeah.
from North Jersey. You're Italian.
Yeah.
Like it just
Even our
fits.
hometown. No,
it just
was like very
works
Italian,
together.
so
Yeah.
it was kind of almost just like a spoof on them too, because like I said, it's so Italian, it's so Guido, and the olive oil inside joke. We kind of ran with it, and people loved it. People absolutely loved
Yeah,
it.
it's absolutely electric.
Yeah,
And then speaking of the content, I do remember a video from back in the day, that the one video where it must have been you were promoting the start of maybe summer or something like that, and the olive oil bottle or
the Chef Boyardee
starts
bottle?
rolling
Chef
down.
Boyardee,
Yeah. It's fucking electric.
Yeah.
Dude. I mean, there's just so many things you can do with it. But you're right, the content side of things too. You guys are very good with that, and I think that's huge because. So I've started trying to turn the Reddcast into like a whole system, and I've been going with Cisnero most of the time. And I got to go do Brant Wolf down at EDC. Was cool. Keats at AC, he played with Dom Dalla. And just doing more content side of things. And I'm starting to realize like all these big DJs and everything they're doing, they're always recapping every set they have. They're recording the set and then synchronizing that file with those clips, and they're posting a carousel clip, and then they're posting a full edit video of the show. And I started to realize just how powerful that is for
100%.
DJs.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But what I was getting back to before we went on the tangent about Moravian baseball hating me, before we got to the origin of the Olive Oil name, was you mentioned going beyond this Jersey circuit. So the Jersey circuit is so powerful. You're in it, and you guys are at the top of the fucking game. Like, you guys are running the fucking show. It's just a fact of fucking life. So one of my questions was, what do you want to do outside of that? Do you like being in this? Do you like running the show in it? It seems like, based on what you told me before the pod as well, like things are starting to get stapled in and running, and now it seems like you may be able to just continue moving and doing other things. But what is your goal with that?
Yeah.
My goal was always I wanted to get paid to travel. So that's always going to be the end goal, and I want it to be as big as it could possibly be. But I also want to have that little realistic factor of like, okay, if I could get to this point, I could be happy and content with that. But I'm also still going to be pushing for the higher bar. I don't want to like just completely like, because if you're going to run your own business and do anything like that, you can't just stop at some point, because then you're never going to like be successful, in my opinion. But I don't know. We were fortunate to play in Charleston for the first time this past September. That was down at Uptown Social, like a connection that we had made through Angelo and a couple of guys from Jersey that have moved down to Charleston. Shout out Chris Kinzel. And then we played with Angelo in North Carolina. I mean, we always did like some like fraternity and college things at other colleges, but the goal is to, at this point, I would say, is we need to travel more and go to different states. We need to bring the brand to more than just New Jersey.
Yeah, it's tough, you know. There's always levels to it. It was tough to get to where we are now. It's going to be tough to get to the out of state. It's tough to get to the point of like festivals. Even before that, circling, like we need to, and like we've kind of have talks about it before. We need to kind of figure out like what we want to present Olive Oil to like the rest of the world. What everyone knows is in DJ, what everyone knows is in New Jersey, rather. You know, we're DJs, we're open format, we play everything under the sun, we're high energy.
We're fun, we throw a good party, blah, blah,
blah. When it comes to, like, our music and what we make in terms of originals and, like, remixes, like, that's a big goal for us, is continuing, like, the production aspect. What we want to show to the world in terms of, like, the artistry Olive Oil. Like, what are we producing and presenting, and like what route do we want to go? Do we want to be an open format DJ and travel cities and like play our style of what we play in Hoboken? Do we want to focus more on music and like, all right, we're making techno, we're making tech house, we're making, you know, EDM, and like we want to get booked like in clubs and shows like for our music, you know? That's like the little you know, problem that we're kind of having right now is figuring out like the route we want to go, because at the end of the day there's multiple ways to make it, but you know, we see shelf lives in certain aspects, you know. In terms of like open format DJs, you got like, you know, probably the biggest open format DJ in the world like is Pauly D, you know, but he got a lot of his clout through the celebrity, through Jersey Shore, and became like that celebrity DJ. But like, you know, Pauly D isn't playing EDC. Pauly D isn't playing Tomorrowland. Pauly D isn't playing all these huge festivals. You know, he's not making, you know, a ton of original music and stuff. You know, there is a route to be like these, you know, open format and like travel the cities, travel the world, travel all of US to go to, you know, Vegas and different spots to play like an open format route. Like, but there's also a route to be John Summit, Dom Dalla, you know, Eli Brown, all these guys are playing around the world, you know? And like that is a completely different, I feel like marketing plan, content plan, and like style that like we're doing right now. So we got to figure out kind of what we want to do, because, you know, we like the open format. I think we're good at it. And like I said, we've traveled to Charlotte and Charleston to kind of like play that route. But we need to figure out like the style of music we want to put out, and is that like what we want to show the world Olive Oil? Like, do we want to be artistry Olive Oil? Do we want to be open format Olive Oil? Open format Olive Oil? Do we want to do a little bit of both? Like, what do we want to show to the world? It's the debate of where
that
to go. Makes sense, you know.
It makes 100 to me. What you're saying to me right now is like a conversation I wanted to have with you guys, because in my opinion, you guys have the skill to do whatever it is that you want to do with that, right? So like the producing the music, the open format, elite at all aspects of DJing, at producing. So when you get into this is So Cisnero and Brant Wolf, right? The first 2 resident DJs of Reds. Both from the beginning of when I knew them were actually producing music and making music. When they were at Reds, they would play open format as well because you need to please the crowd, especially at college. But their level of skill in terms of producing music is what will allow them to go to the next level if they want to do that. And so festivals, like Brant Wolf did just play EDC, which was cool. Shout out to the House Hats Collective. I mean, they hooked them up and they got them down there. Great people. They had Chase West at their 4-year anniversary party. I mean, that guy just ripped a set that they had Ben Sterling too. I mean, but Chase West just put on a set that 3 hours, dude, 3 to 6 a.m. It was unreal. But in terms of, I've gotten to this conversation with Keats too on the podcast, which was the first podcast of 2023. And that's crazy because this might be the last podcast of 2023 right here. This one might be the last one we're
First
shooting.
and last.
Yeah, it's
on
crazy.
same topics.
So
this is like the biggest, I feel like the biggest debate, the biggest issue and hardship of DJs in New Jersey.
Yes.
We're fortunate to have like a crazy nightlife scene, but you don't have a lot of places that you can truly play like artistry type sets or have crowds that like go there for it. And that's kind of like our issues, you know, we're stuck between a rock and a hard place. It's not just us, it's like overall DJs in New Jersey.
Brooklyn's right over the river.
Yeah.
So if you want house music the whole entire time, you just go right to Brooklyn. You don't have to stay here.
Yeah. To be I guess a prominent, popular DJ in New Jersey, you have to be able to play open format because 99% of the spots, you know, bars and clubs are that route. But the reality is, you know, that does take away from the opportunities that you would have to play artistry type sets, you know.
Yes.
And the reality, you got to go to, you know, you got to either be stuck in Atlantic City or Philadelphia or New York City to go and find those spots. And they're few and far between. And there's a lot of DJs that are doing both, you know. So it's just a tough situation that we have in New Jersey because we don't really have those spots.
Yeah, and I think from the outside too, it's something that I understand just from being in nightlife. I saw that difference. And then, of course, meeting people who do produce music, seeing that dilemma, because in real time, you see it in the bar when they're playing an amazing song, such good instrumentation, like that they produced, that they mixed or whatever it may be, and it's not hitting with the crowd. And you're like, this is a fucking beautiful song. Like, this song is absolutely electric. Why is it not resonating with people? But that's because a lot of the times in New Jersey, the open format is what hits. Because, you know, when you, especially like, dude, DJs, when you go there, they're hitting everything. I mean, everybody hits, and it's just, again, that scene is electric. And when you get to the top of that, like you said, there may be a point where you can't go further if you're not doing producing or going to a scene where that style of music, when you are producing, is appreciated. And then, of course, you get to like these big festivals, and they're playing all original music that they produce or, you know, other big house music. So that was one of my things. Where do you think, as it stands right now, where do you think you want to go? What do you think you want to do? Do you know? Or is it like at a point where you're like, you know what, we have some time right now?
I guess the goal definitely is always going to end up being the EDCs, the Ultras, the Tomorrowlands. Like, what DJ doesn't want to play the biggest festivals in the world? But it's always going to come down to that music, and you have to create an audience for the music that you make. John Summit doesn't become John Summit if he doesn't make songs. Nobody's going to ever find out who he is. And then, like Dom Dallas, same thing. Like if you're not making music, it's the same thing for. I always parallel it with like bands back in the 60s, 70s, 80s. Nobody would have wanted to go see them if they didn't have their own songs. You need a following based off of music, and if you don't have a following based off of music, you're just a DJ.
Got to make them. You got to market them. Like I said, there's many ways to get.
It's the easiest time right now too to market your shit.
Exactly.
Like right now with all the tools that we have, the fucking phones, all that shit. It's the easiest. You could market yourself to gazillions of people. The only problem is there's also a gazillion other people that want to do the same shit. So you got to figure out the break, how you're going to be better than those other people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a tough thing too is that there's so many people doing it. So it's like and this is something I tell people all the time. It's like I think a lot of people see the show, especially nightlife and being a DJ, like people see the show that you guys put on and they see the energy that you've created. First of all, they don't see all the fucking work that led up to that and everything you had to go through, but they see that and they're like, damn, I want to do that. It's like, all right, well, are you willing to go through everything else to get there? And then even when you do get there, there's always more levels to go to. So it just depends on what you want. And it is difficult because I feel like in New Jersey too, it becomes a dilemma because of the fact that you can have so much success being an open format DJ and doing places like this and continuing to rock that energy. And how could you not love that? I mean, how could you not love a fucking juice bar? It's literally all trenches. I mean, fuck, light the heater, tank tops, fist pump, and let it fly. You know what I mean? It's like, and you could kind of get caught in that. And it's like, the question is whether or not you want to stay or you want to continue to elevate, and it's not right or wrong either way. And that's what I was wondering, is because I feel like you guys are at a level where you've dominated it, you can continue doing it, or you could go further if you wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely going to shoot for the stars, you know. And like I said, at the end of the day, like as much as we love Green Rock, as much as we love like a lot of spots to play in New Jersey, they're all stepping stones for us trying to, you know, go for more. And you know, that's the thing. It's like, how do you take, for example, let's say we're the best DJ in New Jersey. Number one, everyone knows who the hell we are. How do we, you know, contact a club, let's just say, in fucking Arizona or in Texas and convince them, you know what I mean? We're the number one DJ in New Jersey with all these people and stuff like that. We're guaranteed to play like great room and like, you know, go over there and like rock it and like sell tickets or like, you know, make sure that the place is packed. It's tough. That's like why I see, you know, an issue with like the open format route. There's only like a select number of places that are clubs that are like super busy all the time and have a rotation of guys from all over playing.
We're essentially, I would say, essentially it's based off of the name of the place and not the people that they're bringing in to DJ.
Exactly, yeah. So, you know, you have a better chance when it comes to traveling, like going that artistry style and like, you know, getting your music popular. And hey, we may have fans who live in Arizona and stuff like that who listen to our music that would go to a show versus us being like an open format DJ and like trying to book ourselves in
And we're just playing at the most popular place in Scottsdale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big, you know, pro and con. There's a lot of people that I know that are happy with the open format route. They'll go play at the best clubs, which is dope because you're going to play at, you know, popular places and travel. But at the end of the day too, like, are they there for the place? Are they there for you and your music? Is that truly like helping you grow? Or, you know, do you go take a step back and kind of go like, you know, the music route, focus on like making your own remixes, your own music, getting support from, you know, bigger artists and maybe getting stuff signed on labels and like kind of building that out. You know, it's a tough situation. The reality is like, if we wanted to go more the open format route and travel more and like go to other clubs, we'd probably make more money kind of like upfront because we'd be guaranteed to like make money at these places and stuff. But probably, you know, long-term wise, the route and longevity of olive oil would be better, obviously, to focus always on the music. You know, that's the passion.
Like you'll definitely like see a growth in your audience and your crowd if you're going out and DJing, but it's gonna only be to a certain amount. It's not gonna be a blow up in a way, for lack of a better way to put it.
Yeah, the reality is like we want to get to the point like of, you know, getting to festivals and playing that and stuff. So we have to push music and get better producing and go down that route. I mean, that's my goal personally. That's what I want to focus on, and like that's the trajectory I see for olive oil.
How often do you split it between, you know, working on things that you might play at an open format gig versus producing? Because you guys come out with the remixes with Hove and all of that. It's all the time you guys are putting stuff out.
Yeah, it's like
how do you split it in terms of working on something that you may play at an open format spot versus doing like something that where you're producing original music?
You're kind of just, when it comes to like, especially the spots that we play at currently, you're kind of just like, you read the room still.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's like Sundays here at Green Rock, we could get into the heavy, weird techno shit because we know the crowd is gonna just fucking go ballistic.
When
we play at DJs, we could play more of that artist style set because we know we could go hard and we could do what we want to do.
We're fortunate enough to play at open format spots that we're able to do some of that versus other spots that are very, you know, like very sing-alongy or very like stick to the book. So yeah. Like Fisher said, it is nice to be at a part of power where we have like places that we know like the back of our hand, and we can kind of, you know, go past that line sometimes where other people might be just, you know, very comfortable and playing it safe.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's a very big debate, and it was a question I had for you guys, especially being at the level that you're at right now and having the skill to do that production of original music and things like that.
At the end of the day, there's no right answer for it.
Yeah,
half
really
of this shit is just right place, right time.
Yeah.
So.
I know, and that's what I said. I was like, you know, because it's so much fun being in this New Jersey nightlife and experiencing that, and it's like you can do that forever, dude. I mean, look at DQ has built an amazing career over however long he's been doing it, and he's involved in every spot. And I mean, that guy never stops. Like you said, if you're running your own, the guy never stops, and he's in it, and he's rolling, and he continues to find new ways to do things, new businesses to open, new ventures. So it's like, as much as there is a ceiling, there is new ways to develop. It just depends from a DJ standpoint and a producer standpoint. It's kind of different things and where you want to go.
It's always like every DJ goes through this route because the reality is there is open format and like local local bars and stuff, everywhere you are. You know, it's like, do you want to be, you know, that artistry and like make your own music and focus on that, focus on, you know, building support at clubs and like going that route? Or do you want to, you know, kind of, I guess, almost the local DJ way is almost like you have more opportunity like faster. And usually, you know, you're getting paid quicker and stuff. So there is like an easier barrier of entry to it, but I feel like it is harder. It's harder to get like to the top, you know? So it is, you know, it's a challenge, and it's something every DJ experiences, and we're trying to figure out our route, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. So what's the plan for the rest of this month, finishing out the holidays in 2023, and then to kick off 2024? What do you guys got on the schedule here?
Well, we got a song release right before Christmas.
Yep.
We're putting out a song with our
out.
buddies Out of Shape.
Yeah, shout out to Subers and Tone.
Yeah, we're going to start promoting that this week. I just got everything up on the distribution platform, so that's all ready to go. Spotify, all that shit.
And then to start off 2024, you said down when in March maybe you mentioned something about music, or no?
Yeah. So yeah, I guess circle back. So I quit my corporate job about 1.5 years ago, and Fisher and I have been taking like classes one-on-one with production just to really like focus on it and get better on mixing and mastering. The whole music production thing is, you know, a whole college degree and a whole another world than DJing, you know. It's a completely different thing. So I've always wanted to like make a focus on that. So I legit, you know, quit my job to put in time with Fisher to get better at that and build that. So currently right now we have a bunch of like unreleased stuff out there. I want to put together a 3 to 4 song like EP out in February, March.
Yeah, get it out right before like Music Week, before festival season kind of thing. That's like that's the idea.
So last year, and so I guess all of 2023, not last year, this year, and next year, our main focus is music, and that's going to be our driving factor.
It's going to be like music, all fast shit too.
Yeah,
like
and our content
140 BPM to like 150.
Yeah. And we're
we're making
like
up there.
We're making acid, we're making techno, we're making like, you know, like techno meets Euro dance like kind of style, like fun, bouncy, high energy type stuff. But that is going to be the driver for us. You know, so we'll play the open format spots, you know, the spots we have throughout New Jersey, but really focus on music and like getting that channel out, blowing up our Spotify, Apple Music, more on our SoundCloud, and like just getting more connected in that EDM artistry scene, and then hopefully kind of see where it goes and see if we get opportunities kind of outside New Jersey. We're very fortunate, very happy to pretty much play every spot in New Jersey that we've wanted to play. And so for us, it's like, you know, do we take more of a tack on New York City and the Brooklyn scene? Because obviously it's huge. Do we focus on Philadelphia? Do we focus on different states? You know, connections in Florida, connections in Boston, connections in PA, connections in, you know, in other states. So we'll see. But the biggest driver for us, and I think at the end of the day will always be the answer if you want to be a DJ and you want to get to the highest level, is music. And learn how to produce, work with people on production, focus on originals, focus on remixes. Don't try to chase trends. They always say that. And I truly believe that, like, make music like you want to make, and it will help you resonate better with a crowd that likes your music, and just will truly authenticate yourself, you know, which is the most important thing.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to make the music that other people are making. Like, even if it's the popular music, you aren't them.
Yeah.
So you're not going to be able to compete ever. So you have to do it that way.
Yeah, especially with something like music, it's from within. Like, it's something you feel. It's something you hear that inspires you. It's the same with the videos. Like, because we got a song together. I got the vocals on the fucking Hold the Line in it, right? Like, and I'm just, it's interesting how music can spark something like that. And as soon as I hear that song, I'm like, all right, green screen, olive oil, myself, we got to get Hove in there, and we're all on a fucking pirate ship, Pirates of the Caribbean, fucking sailing into an absolutely electric drop. Yeah. You guys just running the show at like Green Rock or somewhere, you know? And it's interesting because that creativity and that creative mind is all specific to the individual. So the advice you guys just gave to people is like, do what you want to do.
And people have given it to us before, but like, it is the true truth. And like, don't like corner yourself.
People are going to resonate with it at the end of the day.
Most people don't really know olive oil as producers and stuff. And that's something that we want to show. You know, like, we have a bunch of unreleased stuff, a bunch of cool stuff. You know, we have stuff that's tech house, stuff that's progressive, stuff that's heavy techno, stuff that's acid, like all over the place. And, you know, you see these big DJs, and like now more so than ever. John Summit is playing. He was a tech house guy. He's playing techno. He's playing dubstep. He's playing, Afrobeat, style music and stuff. Like, these guys are playing everything now. It used to be back in the day, like, you're blah, blah, blah. You only play this. Your fans only listen to this. Like, it's not like that anymore. It's definitely, a mixed scene where, you can make whatever type of music you want. For the most part, your fans will follow you for your passion, like your authenticity, and like the multiple styles you make will, grow multiple crowds or more multiple followers for your business.
Absolutely, dog. I'm so fucking fired up right now. That whole conversation that just came out of that's absolutely electric. Well, dude, I mean, you guys are absolutely, again, at the top of the game, killing it. Absolute, just unbelievable. I'm so hyped we were able to get this scheduled. Again, goes back and forth for weeks, and then finally it happened. So, and thanks for hooking us up with Green Rock, allowing us to do it here. So they can find you Olive Oil Music, correct?
On everything.
On everything.
Yep. Everything.
Right? All platforms?
Yep.
Cool. I'm
Nice
looking
and
forward to
simple.
that, to everything that's going to go on in that early 2024 when you guys drop all that music. I'm going to be fucking...
Yeah, 100%.
I'm fired up for that.
You find us, throughout New Jersey DJing, doing our thing. Come say what's up. We'll,
Anywhere
we'll
that is juice, just look at the DJ booth. I would have bet everything that it's them fucking playing.
Yeah.
Appreciate you having us on, too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hopefully did an okay job,
Yeah, this was, and again, as soon as we had started
stumbled
talking
on my
about
words
it,
a couple times. Sorry about
this
that.
is fucking. Listen, first of all, Central Jersey exists. I do want to
Doesn't
say that
exist.
before we fucking go. Let's fucking go, well, boys. Thank you again. This was awesome, dude. Great to learn the story.
No problem.
Yeah,
Problem.
awesome.
Definitely got to continue.
We're gonna have to get an episode 2 in there for the new year.
Oh, there will absolutely. We're
gonna have
doing a
to go,
follow-up
man.
episode,
Yeah.
100%. I can't wait to see where everything goes from here. It's cool to look back on it after you do an episode
100%.
and then see where everything went from there. So awesome. Well, best of luck to you guys moving forward. I'm looking forward to getting to a couple shows as well, a couple spots that you're at, because I really got to fucking get back into the game. It's wintertime. I'm usually laying low. We got the holidays coming up. I can make an exception. We'll be somewhere. So, all right, boys. Thank you again. And thank you for this fucking merch, dude.
No problem.
That's absolutely
No problem.
electric. All fucking day. We're out. Let's fucking go. Fuck them all, dog.